Hello student, this is the part 2 video for chapter number 2. Next policy what they have implemented or initiated, that was doctrine of lapse. So Lord Dalhousie, the Governor General, devised the policy of doctrine of lapse. Now what is this? What is meant by the doctrine of lapse? It said that if any Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse and become a part of company's territory. So as per the Indian rule, the territory after the death of the father, it directly moves in the hands of his son, and mainly elder son. But here the Britishers have implemented a new policy mainly and this was devised by the Lord Dalhousie. So according to this, any Indian ruler who die without a male heir, if they are not having any kids, then this kingdom will directly lapse in the company's territory. So through this doctrine, many kingdoms like Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur, Jhansi, Awadh, they were annexed. The argument given by the British was misgovernment like in Awadh. So to annex the Awadh, they said that the Awadh was not having a proper administration. So it is having a misgovernment. So to protect it in proper way, to give a proper administrative system, they are annexing the Awadh. So this humiliation led the people of Awadh to join the revolt that broke out in 1857. So the people of Awadh were against of that, and even the Nawabs. So they joined the revolt in 1857. Setting up a new administrations. So slowly and steadily they were acquiring the power and they were annexing many regions of India. So when Warren Hastings took over as a Governor General, the company had already acquired power in Bengal as well as Bombay and Madras. These were considered as their three presidencies. British territories were divided into three administrative units and they were called as presidencies, that is Bengal, Madras and Bombay. Each presidency was ruled by the governor, over which was the supreme head of administration, Governor General. It was under the Governor General, all the presidencies. Now Warren Hastings introduced several reforms like establishment of a new system of justice. Each district have two courts, a criminal court that is called as Faujdari Adalat and the civil court that is called as Diwani Adalat. To bring uniformity, a digest of Hindu laws and code of Muslim law was compiled for the benefit of European judges. And this was translated by the N.B. Alhad. A new Supreme Court and a Court of Appeal, the Sardar Nizamat Adalat, was set up. Collector collected revenue and taxes and maintained a law and order with the help of judges, police officers and the darogas. So this is the way how they were maintaining the law and order with the help of collector. So collector became the supreme power of law and order. Next topic, the company's army. The colonial rule in India brought in a new idea of administration and reform, but its power rested on its military strength. So how was the Mughal army? It was mainly composed of cavalry and infantry. Cavalry here means the horsemen on the the men on the horseback, or the men with horses, riding the horses. Infantry, the walking army. So soldiers were trained in archery and use of swords. So they were learning this also. Mughal states like Awadh and Banaras started recruiting peasants into their armies and trained them as a professional soldiers. Company also adopted the same method of recruiting peasant as a sepoys. This we have already learnt in 7th standard, the Jagirdari system and Mansabdari system. So the same way was adopted by the company. So they were recruiting the peasant as sepoys. British fighting wars in Burma, Afghanistan, and Egypt trained Indian soldiers with the latest warfare technology. In the early 19th century, the British introduced a uniform military culture. Soldiers were subjected with European style of training, drill, and discipline. So they were neglecting their religions and their community to do so. So this also led the protest against the Britishers from the sepoys. So they also become the part of 1857 revolt. Establishment of colonial power. Over a period of time, the East India Company was transformed from a trading company to the territorial colonial power. With the arrival of steam technology, it took only 3 weeks to reach India from Britain by sea, or it was in past time it was being taken 5 to 6 months to reach India. So with the help of new technology of ship, that is steam technology, so they were able to reach to India by 3 weeks. So more Britishers and their families came to India with the help of this technology. By 1857, the East India Company had virtually the whole of India under its control. So here our exercise starts. Topic wise, East India Company begins trade in Bengal. The first fill-up is the first English factory was set up on the bank of river, which river? Hooghly, in 1651. Here are two definitions. First is factors. The company traders were known as factors at that time. Farman, that is a royal edict, a royal order. The old name of the present day Kolkata was Calcutta. Murshid Qali Khan was the Nawab of Bengal. See the next question. How did East India Company establish trade in India and enter into politics? All companies were interested buying same things. Competition amongst them pushed up the price. Effort to fortify settlements, profitable trade led to intense conflict with the local rulers. So they found difficult to separate trade from politics. So they have to acquire the control or the authority to just trade without any kind of restriction or interruption. So they need a political power to control the trading. How trade led to battles. So again the fill-ups. Murshid Qali Khan, Alivardi Khan and Sirajuddaula refused to give concession to the company. What were the allegations made by the Nawab against the company? Accusing the company of deceit, they claimed that company was depriving the Bengal government of huge amount of revenue and undermining the authority of the Nawab. These were the allegations made by the Nawab against the company. Now, how did the company defend this allegation? The company on its part declared that the unjust demand of the local officials were running the trade of the company and trade could flourish only if the duties were removed to enlarge settlement, buy up villages and rebuild its forts. After the death of Alivardi Khan, Sirajuddaula became the Nawab of Bengal. What did company mean by puppet rulers? So who would willingly give trade through without success? So they were not in the mood of successing any regions. So puppet will help out to trade. So with the help of puppet, they can just trade in India. They don't have to success. They don't want to take the headache of just ruling the region. Puppet, the term is used disapproving to refer to a person who is controlled by someone else. Negotiation, discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. What did Sirajuddaula ask the company to do? To stop meddling in the political affairs of his dominant, stop fortification, and to pay the revenue. So this was being asked by Sirajuddaula to company. The Battle of Plassey was fought between Robert Clive and Sirajuddaula. Why was Sirajuddaula defeated in the Battle of Plassey? So the force led by Mir Jafar, one of his commander, never fought the battle. So that was the one of the reason Sirajuddaula defeated in the Battle of Plassey. After the Battle of Plassey, Sirajuddaula was assassinated and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. The company deposed Mir Jafar and made Mir Kazim the Nawab of Bengal. What were the reasons behind making Mir Kazim as Nawab of Bengal? The company discovered that even the puppet Nawab were not always as helpful as the company wanted to maintain a basic appearance of dignity in front of the subject. So they deposed Mir Jafar because Mir Jafar was demanding and protesting the company. So they made Mir Kazim. The Battle of Buxar was fought between Mir Kazim and Britishers. How did the assumption of Diwani benefit the East India Company? It helped them to use the vast revenue resource of Bengal instead of buying goods like cotton, silk and textiles. Next topic is company official become Nabobs. Robert Clive was appointed the governor of Bengal in 1764. Why was Robert Clive cross-examined by the British Parliament? When he left India, his Indian fortune was worth rupees 401,102. Parliament was suspicious of his vast wealth, so he was cross-examined by the British Parliament. Define Nabobs. Officials who managed to return with wealth, began to lead flashy lives and flaunted their riches were called as Nabobs. This is the next topic. Company rule expand. How they have expanded. So what were the method used by the British to annex the kingdom, Indian kingdom? They used political, economical and diplomatic method to annex the Indian kingdom. What was the outcome of the Battle of Buxar? Resident in Indian states, write down Indian states, were appointed after the Battle of Buxar that was held in 1764. What powers were enjoyed by the residents appointed by the company? Through the residents, the company directly started interfering in the internal affairs of Indian state, which was not allowed in past. See the define. Subsidiary alliances means Indian rulers were not allowed to have their independent armed force. Injunction means instruction. Subservience means submissiveness. See the fifth question. The residents in the Indian states were appointed by the company after the Battle of Buxar. Name the Indian state acquired through the subsidiary alliances by British, that is Hyderabad and Awadh. Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore. So Mysore grew powerful under the leadership of powerful leaders like Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. What led to conflict between Tipu Sultan and Britishers? Tipu Sultan stopped the export of sandalwood, pepper and cardamom through the ports of his kingdom and disallowed local merchants from trading with company. Tipu Sultan was defeated by the British in the Battle of Seringapatam. After the defeat of Tipu Sultan, Mysore was placed under the Wadayars. War with Marathas. The Battle of Panipat was fought between Marathas and British. The Marathas chief belonged to the Sindhya, Holkar, Gaikwad, Bhosle dynasties. Define confederacy, that means alliance. See the next Phillips. Mahatji Sindhya and Nana Fadnis were great Maratha soldiers and statesmen. The first Maratha war ended with the Treaty of Salbai. After which war did the British get full control over south of Vindhyas? So after the third Anglo-Maratha war, they get the control over the south of Vindhyas. The claim to paramountcy, define the paramountcy. It means the company's power was greater than that of state. The policy of paramountcy began under Lord Hastings. How did Russia worry the East India Company? EIC imagined that Russia might expand across Asia and enter India from the northwestern side. Doctrine of lapse. What is doctrine of lapse? If any Indian rulers died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse and become a part of company's territory. Who initiated the policy of doctrine of lapse? Lord Dalhousie initiated the policy of doctrine of lapse. Name the kingdom annexed through the policy of doctrine of lapse. That is Satara. That was annexed in 1848. Sambalpur in 1850. Udaipur in 1852. Nagpur in 1853 and Jhansi in 1854. What did the British mean by obliged by duty to take over our? It means to free the people from the misgovernment of the Nawab. Setting up of a new administration. Warren Hastings played an important role in expansion of company rule in India. Presidencies means the state, the administrative centers under Britishers. So there were 3 administrative centers, that was Bengal, Madras and Kolkata. I forgot to write, so you write down. Presidency means the administrative centers. Qazi, a judge. Mufti, a jurist of Muslim community. Impeachment, a trial by the House of Lords in England for charges. I have written over here because there were no space. Of misconduct, charges of misconduct brought against a person in the House of Commons. Dharmashastra, Sanskrit text prescribing social rules and codes of behavior, composed from 500 BCE onwards. Who was the supreme head of the presidencies? Warren Hastings was to be the supreme head of presidencies, or you can say the Governor General is becoming the supreme head of the presidencies. So your part 2 video ends over here. For the next part, wait for the part 3 video. Thank you.